The Shanghai A581 watch made mechanical timekeeping a domestic product and a visible sign of arrival. Wind the crown and a mainspring stored energy. A gear train carried that energy toward an escapement, which released it in controlled steps while a balance oscillated. More gearing translated those counted oscillations into moving hands. The title promise is therefore concrete. This was a wearable precision machine, and owning one could signal that its wearer had obtained a scarce modern consumer good. The model name matters. Shanghai's official General Chronicle records that the A581 mechanical watch was registered under the Shanghai brand in March 1958, and that the Shanghai watch factory was established in April. It says the factory put the A581 into production that year and produced 13,600 units. Those entries separate an industrial product from the earlier experimental watches assembled in Shanghai. The A581 was not simply one more prototype. It belonged to an organized manufacturing system expected to repeat tiny tolerances thousands of times. The first retail event shows demand without requiring a fictional customer story. Yangpu Times, a district publication, reports that A581 sales began in July 1958. 100 watches offered in the trial sale were bought, and more than 1,000 people registered for future purchase that morning. The current manufacturer tells a similar story and identifies Shanghai No. 3 department store as the location. These accounts document scarcity and attention around the product. They do not prove that every buyer felt the same emotion or that one launch represented the whole national market. The movement can be explained carefully without claiming an undocumented A581 teardown. A patent describing conventional mechanically driven watches identifies a mainspring as the energy source, a train of interlocking gears as the transmission, and an escapement with an escape wheel, pallet fork, balance, and balance spring as the regulator. The escapement repeatedly holds and releases the train according to the balance's vibration. That general architecture explains how a hand-wound mechanical wristwatch converts stored spring energy into paced motion. The sources used here do not establish the exact tooth counts, jewel arrangement, alloy, or shock protection design inside every A581. Making that architecture at scale was an industrial challenge. The Shanghai Chronicle says the municipal government promoted domestic components and materials, and that enterprises across 15 industrial systems shifted into specialist watch parts production. Cases, springs, pivots, gears, bearings, dials, hands, tools, gauges, oils, and assembly procedures all had to fit a shared specification. A watch can fail even when each part looks nearly correct, because friction, alignment, surface finish, and adjustment interact. The important achievement was coordinated repeatability, not a romantic image of one craftsperson building an entire factory product alone. The manufacturer states that the A581 could run for more than 36 hours and that its daily deviation was within 1 minute. Those are brand-published performance claims, so they are attributed rather than treated as an independent laboratory test. They still clarify the intended bargain. A user wound the watch, set it against a trusted reference, wore it through daily movement, and periodically corrected it. Precision was practical rather than absolute. The watch reduced dependence on a wall clock, but it also created a maintenance routine of winding, setting, cleaning, and eventual service. Status came from more than the dial. Watches appeared among the durable consumer goods later remembered as the 3 turnings and 1 sound: watch, bicycle, sewing machine, and radio. Shanghai's district history connects named versions of these goods with household preparation and weddings. The safe claim is that a Shanghai watch could be publicly legible as a valuable acquisition. It sat on the body, appeared at work and in photographs, and combined utility with scarcity. The evidence does not justify inventing a proposal, a factory promotion, or a family inheritance for narrative color. The old status system weakened when the surrounding market changed. Shanghai's official chronicle says the city's watch industry began to decline and adjust during the 1980s, while factories also produced quartz and digital watches. A 1993 Shanghai University of Finance and Economics market study describes pressure on domestic mechanical watches as quartz products earned profits and mechanical production faced losses in the period it examined. Quartz timekeeping did not erase mechanical watches, but it changed the comparison. Everyday accuracy no longer required the same dense mechanical train, and a watch's value could shift toward price, fashion, electronics, or craft. The A581 survives because its two legacies point in different directions. Its mechanical form became a collectible linked to Shanghai industry, while its everyday service escaped the case. Phones, computers, transport displays, and appliances now provide synchronized time almost everywhere. The dedicated wristwatch is optional for many users, yet portable time discipline is more pervasive than ever. The Shanghai A581 did not create punctuality or invent the mechanical watch. Its precise achievement was domestic scale. A city assembled the factories, parts, measurement, labor, and retail system needed to put a repeatable precision machine on thousands of wrists. Before a wristwatch, time was often consulted at a fixed clock, a workplace instrument, or another public reference. The A581 moved that reference onto the body, but it still needed human care. Its owner wound the spring, set the hands, checked drift, protected the case, and arranged service when wear affected the rate. Portability removed the walk to a clock while adding a small recurring maintenance ritual. That exchange made precise time more available without making it automatic or maintenance-free. The mechanical chain divides one job among several systems. Winding stores elastic energy in the mainspring. The barrel and wheel train transmit torque. The escapement meters that release, and the balance with its spring supplies a repeating oscillation. Another train turns the hands at useful ratios. The patent source supports this conventional architecture, not the undocumented dimensions of the A581 movement. That boundary matters because a truthful diagram can explain function without pretending to be a factory blueprint. Mass production required measurement as much as metal. Shanghai's General Chronicle describes a supply network spanning 15 industrial systems for domestic watch materials and components. Specialized factories and workshops needed common tolerances, inspection routines, tools, oils, and training. A pivot slightly rough, a wheel slightly off-center, or a spring inconsistently formed could change friction and rate. The finished watch therefore condensed an industrial coordination problem into an object small enough to hide under a cuff. The launch figures show the difference between demand and access. A district history reports 100 watches sold in the trial batch and more than 1,000 registrations that morning. The City Chronicle records 13,600 A581 watches produced during 1958. Those numbers describe specific events and should not be converted into a national ownership rate. Their value is narrower. The early product drew more immediate demand than one shop could satisfy, while the factory was still learning to make precision goods in volume. A watch communicated because it was visible. Unlike a clock in a room, it traveled with the wearer and could be noticed during work, travel, meetings, or photographs. Later memories grouped the watch with the bicycle, sewing machine, and radio as valuable durable goods. That social evidence supports a status reading, but not one universal story. Different owners could value punctuality, utility, craft, scarcity, or appearance in different proportions. The same object could be a tool, achievement, gift, or savings embodied in metal. Quartz technology changed the value calculation rather than making gears stop working. Electronic oscillation and stepping motors offered a different path to accurate display with fewer continuously interacting mechanical parts. Shanghai's Chronicle records industrial decline and adjustment in the 1980s, including quartz and digital production. The 1993 market study shows a later moment when domestic mechanical lines faced financial pressure while quartz products were profitable. Replacement was therefore technical, economic, and symbolic at once. Mechanical watches survived by changing categories. Some remained everyday tools, others became gifts, collectibles, design objects, or demonstrations of craft. The A581 in particular can be preserved as evidence of early domestic industrial capability even when a phone supplies more convenient time. Survival does not prove that the old product remained the best general solution. It shows that historical association, repairable mechanism, tactile winding, and visible motion can carry value after the original scarcity and market structure disappear. The strongest legacy is not a claim that one model taught an entire country punctuality. It is the joining of portable time with repeatable local manufacture. The A581 placed a regulated mechanical system on the wrist and made its industrial origin visible through the Shanghai name. Later products changed the oscillator, display, power source, and social meaning. While synchronized time spread into almost every device, the watch became less necessary precisely as the behavior it served became infrastructure.